coming up on today's episode.
If I could swap jobs with anyone at the company, I would have to pick Mike the carpenter. I would definitely build my cat Lexus a cat tree for her first birthday. That was this week.
This is the You Ask, the Pros Answer podcast. Do you have questions about an upcoming exterior contracting project? We've got answers. Welcome to the You Ask, the Pros Answer podcast. Well, hey, welcome to the You Ask, the Pros Answer podcast. Your questions answered by the pros you trust. My name is Cole. I am part of the marketing team at Pro Exteriors, and just want to welcome you. This is a very special episode because I get a chance to introduce you to some of the people that I work with. If you are a longtime listener of this show, you know that each week we answer a question that we've been asked either by our customer or a question that maybe we think would be good to answer with regards to the exterior contracting space. Well, like I said, this week's a little bit different. We're going to answer the question, who is Pro Exteriors? So this will actually be a two-part series. Today you'll have a chance to meet about half of our team, and then down the road we will release another episode which will introduce to you the rest of the people that make up our team. But starting off, I want to introduce to you the founder and owner of Pro Exteriors. He is my friend, Aaron Rogers.
Hi, my name is Aaron Rogers. My name is Aaron Rogers. I am the founder and owner of Pro Exteriors. I founded Pro Exteriors in 2005.
Tell me about your experience.
So my father was a contractor. I have been in the industry essentially as long as I can hold a hammer and clean up materials. So in reality, I'll just say 25 years plus.
Why do you love your job?
I really love serving and helping people. It didn't always start out that way. It used to be just simply because I liked building things. And then over time, I realized that the most gratifying part is being able to help somebody who's kind of going through somewhat of a traumatic thing.
Tell us about your family.
So married the love of my life, Mary, in 2006, and we have 4 beautiful sons. Oldest is Nolan, youngest is Cullen.
What do you do when you're not working?
When I am not here working, you'll find me typically working somewhere else. I say that because I tend to volunteer myself at a lot of other places. I don't often say no. I volunteer a lot for my church. I volunteer for 2 other organizations, including the Milton Chamber of Commerce. If I'm not there, I'm pretty much at home.
What can a homeowner expect during an appointment with you?
Too much information. And when I say that, I'm a nerd when it comes to this industry, so typically I have way more information about the products and their house and kind of building styles and everything else than anybody ever needs to know. So I'm a wealth of information, but oftentimes I don't really know how to shut up when it comes to talking about your home or the products. I get really excited seeing a start to finish transformation, so sometimes I'm way more into your project than you are.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I'm an Eagle Scout, which I know for some people doesn't mean much, but for me, it means a lot.
O's or Phillies?
Orioles.
iPhone or Android?
Always iPhone.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Nike or Under Armour?
Under Armour.
Ketchup or mustard?
Dijon mustard.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla. My name is Aaron, and I can't wait to work with you.
And now, a word from our sponsor. Oh, hey there. Sorry. I just got back from the pumpkin patch. You know, I love this time of year. The cool, crisp air, the leaves changing colors, the very real pumpkins like the ones that I have here. You know, at Pro Exteriors, we love this time of year too, which is why this autumn we are excited to announce to you Fall into Savings. Fall into Savings? What is that, you ask? Well, it's simple. With every new qualifying roof or siding purchase between September 1st and November 30th, you qualify for free gutter guards installed by us. Pretty awesome, huh? That's just one more reason to love this time of year. So this fall, leaf it to the pros. You can contact us today at 302-664-1700 or find us online at askproexteriors.com. homeowners.com.
Promotion valid September 1st, 2024 through November 30th, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us for details. The guy in this ad is a goofball, and we realize that. There's not much we can do about it since he's the one who produces our videos.
Let's get back to the show. Not sure how much they're paying that guy in that advertisement, but it is too much. All right, well, I'm glad you got a chance to meet Aaron. Hopefully, if you've known Aaron for a while, you learned something new about him. I can tell you that he has a real heart for helping people, and he loves our community. All right, next up, we have Kara Hignut. Kara joined the team back in April of 2024. She is a graduate of Newman University in Pennsylvania. Instead of me telling you about her, I'm going to let her introduce herself. So without further ado, this is Kara Hignut.
My name is Kara Hignut, and I am the marketing assistant at Pro Exteriors. If I could swap jobs with anyone at the company, I would have to pick Mike the carpenter. I would definitely build my cat Lexus a cat tree for her first birthday. That was this week. Oh, my superpower would definitely be flying. I'm not sure I would use it at work other than to take really cool pictures, but definitely be able to get to and from work without any road rage.
What is your most unusual talent?
Actually, all of my fingers are double jointed, so I have a little weird thing with my fingers.
If you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Grotto's pizza. Easy. If I had to pick a fictional universe to live in, it would definitely be Harry Potter. So me and Hagrid could spend our days together and be besties.
If you could have any animal as a pet, real or fictional, what would it be?
Squirtle from Pokemon. The most adventurous thing I've ever done outside of work was accidentally use a wrong map for a hike in Shenandoah National Park. Very large park. Do not want to get lost in it.
If you could teleport anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Anywhere that's over 80 degrees.
What's the silliest nickname you've ever been given?
The Jolly Green Giant.
If you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably Winnebago by Griffin and Quinn 92. If I could time travel, I think I'd definitely go to the past and go to the Woodstock Music Festival. If I had any vehicle from a show, I would definitely pick the boatmobile from SpongeBob, taking drive onto the beach to a whole new level.
For $1 million, what song could you sing and get every word right?
This one is a little embarrassing. It's the first concert I ever went to, but definitely Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson. My longest friendship is with my best friend Olivia. We've been friends for 20 years now. We went to preschool together, but our dads actually worked together at DuPont.
Tell us about your most irrational fear.
I would have to say sinkholes, but if we lived in Florida, they might not be so irrational.
What game show are you confident that you could win?
I could definitely win Family Feud if I could pick my team. There's no doubt about that. My name's Kara, and now you know.
Kara has been a huge addition to the team since joining back in April. And if you follow Pro Exteriors on social media, she is the one that is largely responsible for the presence on there. And so she's the one that you would be interacting with on all of our social platforms. Next up is one of our exterior specialists, Brad Wozlovec. He was featured on an episode just a few episodes ago, but hopefully you'll get a chance to learn a little bit more about him here in these next couple of minutes. I can tell you that Brad is a guy who cares deeply about the projects that he gets to work on. He cares deeply about the customers that he works with, and he takes a very personal approach to making sure that customers are taken care of throughout the whole process. Without further ado, let's meet Brad Wozlovec.
Hi, I'm Brad Wozlovec. Hi, I'm Brad Wozlovec, and I started Pro Exteriors in September of 2020.
How many years of experience do you have?
Various different industries, but a little over 14 years now.
Why do you love your job?
I love the atmosphere that I work in. The company, the camaraderie that we have here is a big part of why I love working in Pro Exteriors in particular. Doing the job that I do, I love meeting new people. I love problem solving, which is a big part of what we do. So that's probably the biggest three things. When it deals with interactions with the customers and with the general public, I would definitely say the problem solving is number one.
Tell us about your family.
I've been married to my lovely wife, Anita, since 2018. We don't have any kids together, but that was by design. We do have 7 cats, so it's fun to have those. We call those our kids. We sort of became the neighborhood house for ferals, and then a few of them we ended up keeping, and really brings joy to our life. It's a lot of fun when you come home and they're whining to be picked up. I have an older son from a previous relationship that is about 21 years old now, almost, and then he will be doing his own thing. He lives in Baltimore.
What can a homeowner expect during an appointment with you?
So I think the things that I've been told most by homeowners is that I'm blunt and I'm honest. I'm going to give you the hard truth sometimes when it's required. I do believe in fixing the problem one time and just fixing it permanently.
Anything else you'd like to share about yourself?
I mean, I'm pretty easy to get along with person, I think. I believe in giving back what you get in return. So, if someone approaches me openly and honestly, that's exactly what you're going to get from me. I try and treat each situation, each new situation, with open eyes, and I listen more than I speak, hopefully. But really, I want to make sure you're taken care of. I try to look at everyone that I'm meeting with as if they were my grandmother. And it sounds a little cheesy sometimes, but I would want somebody to take care of her the way that I'm feeling to take care of the homeowners.
O's or Phillies?
Orioles, 100%.
Apple or Android?
Android. I'm probably going to get made fun of for that, but Android.
Summer or winter?
Definitely winter, yeah.
Oceans or mountains?
Neither. But no, if I have to pick, I would say mountains. I grew up in Seattle for a good chunk of my childhood. A lot of mountains out there. I love the crisp mountain air. It goes along with the winter question.
Nike or Under Armour?
I'm an Asics man. Option 3.
Ketchup or mustard?
Mustard.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla. My name is Brad, and I can't wait to work with you.
Brad, thanks for sharing all of that. I have been so surprised at how many of the guys on our team have picked Android over iPhone. I've tried not to hold that against them to the best of my ability. All right, next up is me. It's me. So I joined the team back in late January of 2024 as the marketing manager, and I have loved being part of the team here and love seeing things grow and change over time. So without further ado, here's a chance for you to learn a little bit more about me. My name is Cole. If I could swap jobs with anybody here for a day, I would swap with Josh, our project coordinator. I love driving and he gets to be on the road a lot. I also like serving others, the opportunity to just help out. And I know that Josh is often putting out fires and helping out on projects and making sure that our crews have what they need. The funniest thing that I've seen in my time here, it's a mix of funny and scary, but in the middle of the afternoon when things are quiet and people are trying to get their work done, Aaron, our boss, the one who is supposed to be leading us, will randomly scream at the top of his lungs and see how many people he can get to jump. I often find it amusing and also terrifying.
I'm a little messed up.
If I could have any superpower, I would have super speed, where I could just run super fast. I couldn't really think of many applications of how that would be helpful, but I was thinking if I were to take a camera with me to one of our job sites, I could run circles around it and get really cool 360-degree shots. What is the most unusual talent you have that nobody at work knows about? I found out at a pretty young age that I'm a really good hula hooper. My cousin and I used to, we lived up and down a long driveway from one another, and we would hang out all summer long, and we would hula hoop from each other's houses, and we could walk the entire way while hula hooping. If you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, what would it be? When asked this question in the past, I would say French fries, but in recent years, I've really taken a liking to pizza. There's very few pizzas that I found that I don't enjoy. What is your go-to dance move when nobody's watching? Okay, so I can't dance, but if I had to compare my dance moves to one that maybe you have seen before, it would be Kevin James in the movie Hitch. If you've ever seen that, you know what I'm talking about. If I could live in any fictional universe, I'm not a big fantasy guy. I'm not a big sci-fi guy. My favorite movie of all time is That Thing You Do. It was Tom Hanks' directorial debut back in the 90s. And it is set in Erie, PA in the 1960s. And there's just something really comforting about that era and that time where I think I'd like to be part of that. My answer to this question is super boring. If I could have any animal at all as a pet, it would be a dog. Just a dog.
What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done outside of work?
I don't consider myself to be an adventurous person, and so as I was contemplating the answer to this question, I realized, oh yeah, I went to India for about 2 weeks back in 2005, and leading up to the trip, I was terrified because I had never even been on an airplane before, and here I was going to be traveling halfway across the world. I just mentioned that I've been to India, so I've been to New Delhi, I've been to a lot of cities in India, I've been to Budapest, Hungary, I've been to Transylvania and Romania. Yeah, Transylvania is an actual place, but if I could teleport myself to any city in the world right now, it would be Nashville, Tennessee. I love live music, and you can see really good live music from like the time you wake up until the time you go to sleep at night.
What is the silliest nickname you've ever been given?
My friend Tony coined the nickname Cole the Hole when I was a teenager. It has no other meaning other than the fact that coal and hole rhymes, and to this day, he still calls me that. If I could only listen to one song for the rest of my life, I would have to choose Peaceful Easy Feeling by the Eagles. I grew up listening to the Eagles because my dad loves them. He took me to see them in concert in Baltimore years ago, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. I liked this question. If I could travel either to the past or the future, I would go back in time, and I would visit both of my grandfathers when they were in their prime, because I knew them when they were a little older, and some of the stories I've heard were pretty remarkable. My one grandfather rode Harley Davidsons and did hill climbs, and I'm sure he would have a lot of really fun stories to tell.
If you could have a vehicle from any movie, what would it be?
I am of the Fast and Furious era. I would choose the Mitsubishi Evo.7 from Too Fast, Too Furious. Brian O'Connor drove that car in that movie. I actually had a 2002 Mitsubishi Lancer, and I always like to pretend that I was Brian O'Connor when I drove that, even though it was nothing like his car.
For $1 million, what song could you sing and get every word right?
So I had Garth Brooks' box set that you could buy at Walmart back in the day, and so there are a few Garth Brooks songs that I could sing probably every lyric, all the lyrics too. But the one that I could probably do to this day is Friends in Low Places. The friendship that I've had the longest is my buddy Casey. He and I met in middle school, in band class actually. And so throughout middle school and high school, we played sports and played in band together. Little fun fact, in our middle school talent show, we played a trombone duet of My Heart Will Go On, the Titanic theme song. If you know that song, you know that it is not meant for trombone, and yet we played it with all the confidence in the world, and then wondered why we had trouble finding girlfriends for the next many years. In fact, just a few years ago, we reprised that performance and played it at a church talent show and made fools of ourselves.
Suddenly questioning why we signed up for this, and you guys will too here momentarily. Oh, and Casey, I'll never let go.
What game show are you confident that you could win?
Oh, I am certain that I could win The Price is Right. I remember every sick day I had when I was in elementary school, The Price is Right was the show that I would watch. My name is Cole, and now you know.
I probably should have mentioned this at the outset, but if you've been listening to this episode, I would encourage you to go back and find this show on our YouTube channel, or maybe watch on Spotify and just see some of the visuals that have accompanied what you're hearing. All right, last up again, this is part one, so you're only learning about half of our team in this episode, but the last guy up, certainly not least, is Keith Brock. Keith is another one of our exterior specialists. He and Brad started right around the same time back in 2020. Keith is a guy who loves his family. He has a great sense of humor. He's pretty laid back kind of guy. Really good teammate. I'm excited for you to meet him. He, along with Brad, were featured on an episode a couple back where they had a chance to talk with Aaron about some red flags. So if you missed that, you can go back and watch that. But here's a chance to learn a little bit more about Keith.
Hi, my name is Keith Brock. Hi, my name is Keith Brock. I've been with Pro Exteriors since September of 2020.
Please tell us about your work experience.
I have 3.5 plus years in the construction industry.
Why do you love your job?
I love my job here at Pro Exteriors. The big thing is the camaraderie around the office. Everyone gets along great. It just makes it a happy place to go to work.
Could you tell us about your family?
I've been married for 15 plus years to my beautiful wife, Sarah. We have 3 daughters, Audrey, Grace, and Hannah. We live in Millsboro, Delaware.
What do you like to do when you're not working?
When I am not working, I try to play the game of golf. I do the best I can with my attempts at that, but I am not going to be joining the PGA Tour anytime soon. I also help coach my girls in Little League.
What can a homeowner expect during an appointment with you?
When I come to your house to meet you for the appointment, I'm going to ask you some general questions. Basic history of the house, when it was built, what problems you might have had or issues that you've had corrected before. After that, I do need interior access to get into the attic space. Also, I'm going to need backyard access because I'm going to walk around the entire house to give you a full, thorough inspection. If you have any pets or anything like that, feel free to let them roam free unless you have a biter. Very against that. And then after basically going through the inspection itself, I'll come back to you and we'll kind of go over the process of what I found and what we can do for you.
O's or Phillies?
I am a Baltimore O's fan for baseball, but for football, I'm actually an Eagles fan.
Apple or Android?
Android.
Summer or winter?
I definitely prefer the summer.
Dogs or cats?
I am a dog person.
Beach or mountains?
Oh, beach. My name's Keith and I look forward to working with you.
All right, everybody, that's Keith Brock there. Thank you so much for allowing me to introduce to you some of the people that make up Pro Exteriors. That is all for part 1 of this episode. Stay tuned for part 2 coming down the road. But before we go, we want to hear from you. What are some of the questions that you have surrounding an upcoming home remodeling project? Would you please share those questions with us by emailing info@askproexteriors.com, and then in the subject line simply put "you ask." We would love to feature those questions in upcoming episodes. All right, until next time, happy homeowning.
The You Ask the Pros Answer podcast is produced in-house by the Pro Exteriors team. Pro Exteriors is the exterior contracting division of Empire Construction Group, LLC. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It should not be considered legal advice. For more answers to your questions, please subscribe to this channel and podcast so you'll never miss an episode. Do you have an upcoming home remodeling project? Find more answers to your questions at askproexteriors.com.